Meanwhile, from Kerala, we're shifting focus to poll-bound Karnataka, where today Home Minister Amit Shah went to the Old Mysuru region. This is a stronghold of both the JDS and the Congress. It's a region where the BJP traditionally has not performed particularly well. But Amit Shah is hoping to change that by making inroads deep in the Old Mysuru region.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी इस चुनाव में पूर्ण बहुमत के साथ सरकार बनाने के आत्मविश्वास के साथ मैदान में उतरी है।
So why exactly is this Old Mysore belt so important for the BJP? Now, this is the largest region in Karnataka in terms of number of assembly seats. It accounts for 61 assembly seats. So any party that wins here will undoubtedly have an edge. It's almost a fourth of the total number of seats in the state. It is considered to be the heartland of the Vokkaliga community, and the BJP has traditionally been weak amongst the Vokkaligas. It does have a few faces who are Vokkaliga leaders, but none who has statewide stature or recognition. The JDS in the Old Mysuru region is the biggest player. The party, in fact, won 25 out of the 40 seats that it won in 2018 from this region. It swept districts like Hassan and Mandya, which are the traditional districts, the home districts of the Gowda family. The Congress is the principal opponent in this particular region for the JDS. Both chief ministerial aspirants, DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah, hail from this region. DK happens to be a Vokkaliga. Siddaramaiah is from the Kuruba caste. So clearly the BJP is making very, or at least trying to make deep inroads into the Vokkaliga heartland in places like Mandya and Hassan. But will it be successful? Also, how are they going to balance this out with the other dominant community, the Lingayats, who have traditionally been BJP backers, but in this election cycle, because of a various set of events, not least the leaving of some senior leaders of the Lingayat community because of the ticket distribution by the BJP, how are they going to assuage those concerns as well? GS Prashant is Karnataka BJP spokesperson. Nagaraju Yadav of the Karnataka Congress will be joining us. Arivalagan of the JDS will also be joining us in a moment, and Smita Prakash, editor ANI, continues to be with us. GS Prashant, let me start with you first. The BJP has been trying, not just this election, the previous election and perhaps even the one before that, has been trying to make inroads into the Vokkaliga belt, Mysore, Hassan, Mandya, etc. But unfortunately, in a triangular fight, you're not able to come up trumps. Why should we believe that 2023 will be any different?
Zaka, good evening. Bharatiya Janata Party has gone from 2 seats in 1984 to 303 in 2019. So therefore, we are a party, once we make up our mind, we try to make deep inroads, and despite failures in the past, we will never let go of our ambition to capture the Old Mysuru region, and which is the reason why our top leaders are coming there, campaigning and taking out the schemes to the people, informing them that how the double engine government has to be brought to power here. And therefore, we firmly believe that we have a very good chance and we will emerge really victorious in a big way in the Old Mysuru region, in the entire 60 plus seats which constitute the 3 districts which you were talking about. We are pretty confident about it this time. Yes, I do agree that what you said, we have been trying from the past 2 or 3 elections to make inroads there. We might not have been as successful as we wanted it to be, but this time round, we are pretty confident that we'll have a strong, big majority from that area itself.
But Mr. Prashant, one of the things that's said as to why the BJP is not able to make inroads is, one is this triangular fight, the vote gets split between the JDS and the Congress. But more importantly, who is a big Vocaliga face or name, a leader who can rally the community in your favor? The JDS has, of course, the Gowda family. The Congress has DK Shivkumar. Of course, Mr. Siddharama is also from that region, but he's not from that community. But the fact is that there are big name leaders from that region, which the BJP seems to lack.
The BJP has got leaders from all walks of life. Any community you take, BJP has got very tall leaders. If you look at the Lingayat community, Yediyurappa is one of the tallest leaders, not only in the Lingayat community, but for the entire public at large, people look at him as a tall leader. And if you specifically want to comment on the Okaliga leaders in our party, R. Ashok, who's been a deputy CM in the past, Dr. C. N. Ashwath Narayan has been a deputy CM in the past, Dr. K. Sudhakar, who's been a sitting minister. So we are also having very tall leaders and who have pretty strong political acumen to ensure to make inroads, which is the reason why Mr. Ashok is also contesting against DK Shivkumar there in DK Shivkumar's home turf of Kanakpura to drive home the message that BJP will equally have good candidates in all constituencies and we will challenge the top leadership of both Congress and JDS in their bastions.
Okay.
So therefore, we have good leaders and we will make deep inroads.
So let me ask Smita Prakash, on the one hand, this challenge to make inroads into the Vocaliga-dominated Old Mysore region. On the other, the community that has traditionally backed the BJP, which is the Lingayats, are feeling disillusioned for a number of reasons, from reservation to now, of course, the ticket distribution with Mr. Shettar, Mr. Savdi leaving, etc. How easy or difficult would it be to balance both this for the BJP?
It's never easy. It wasn't easy even in the last election, which is why you saw a fractured mandate last time too. And as we get closer to polling date, you will see more of this caste-based or community-based politics play out. Today, Amit Shah's rallies in Hassan, that itself goes to show, and with Kumaraswamy in hospital, just goes to show that BJP is desperate to make inroads into this because it's a large voter base. It's a number of seats out here. And they had, in the last poll, I think JDS had won 6 out of 7, if I'm not mistaken, and BJP had just got 1. From this region, and BJP really wants to get into all the segments out here in the assembly polls and make sure that that translates by 2024. It's a very tough battle for the BJP. Its situation is precarious because, as you mentioned, that there are many community leaders, but in spite of that, they are on a weak wicket. They are fighting with their back to the wall in this election, and the way I see it is that the BJP is on the brink of losing 2018 if they do not get their act together, and they just have 2 weeks to go. So it has to be all hands on deck and at all stages. They cannot at this stage choose the Vocaliga vote or the Lingayat vote. They just have to get all their votes together into that basket if they don't want to lose Karnataka.
All right, Nagaraj Yadav of the Congress is also joining us. Mr. Yadav,
Small rebuttal to what Smita said.
Yeah. One second. Let me get Nagaraj Yadav also in. He's been waiting patiently. Mr. Nagaraj Yadav, the point that's being made is this area of Old Mysore, where traditionally it has been between the JDS and the Congress. Now the BJP is trying to make inroads into that region, and the party that will suffer, or the party at whose cost the BJP can grow, only happens to be the Congress. The BJP is not going to grow at the cost of the JDS. The JDS is a small community-based party, a small family-based party. If the BJP has to grow in Old Mysore, it has to be at the expense of the Congress. So the Congress stands to lose the most. Like you lost the Lingayats in the 70s and 80s, you stand to lose the other big community who have always been backers of your party, that is the Vocaligas.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Nagaraju Yadav. Yes, that question is to you.
Hello? Yeah, they definitely, Congress is not going to lose anything there. As you mentioned it earlier, the fight is between the JDS and the Congress. No doubt about it. It's not only Okaliga. There is a huge number of backward class votes also there. Minority votes also is there. It has got a combination of a lot of votes. Maybe even Lingayat votes, the percentage may be less. But definitely, traditionally, we fight against the JDS, and the BJP has got no entity to do there. And they're trying to make inroads there because they don't have a number of party workers, not the roots in the Old Mysore. Even though as a national party, as a political party, they must be trying it. We have no complaints about it. but Congress will not lose any seat for BJP. I will definitely, the seats have been taken away from the JDS, and Congress will benefit this time because the history speaks very well. From 85 till today, the no ruling party has come back to power, and Congress has been doing a constructive opposition job in Karnataka, and we are taking on all the leaders, and the leaders who are available in Congress has got no other party can match our leaders in Karnataka, especially in the Old Mysuru region.
So,
see, DK Shivkumar is from Old Mysuru region, and Siddhamaya is from the Old Mysuru region. We have the combination of Okaliga and OBC combination and minority combination. They are very strong.
So let me ask. Let me ask Mr. Prashant to respond to that.
Pull the people in, but it doesn't happen.
The Congress's claim is that both the Vokaliga side, they have DK Shivkumar, and on the backward classes side, they have Siddhamaya, both of them from Old Mysore, and none of your leaders are any match for them. And the second point, I think Smita also referred to this, is that every time the JDS does badly, the Congress tends to do better in Old Mysore. And this time, because of the family infighting in the Gowda family, they are not able to agree on the Hassan seat. Clearly, things are not okay between Revana and Kumaraswamy. Because of that, the JDS is not expected to do as well as it did in 2018, and that means advantage to the Congress in this region.
Zaka, firstly, look at what happened in Chamundeshwari in 2018, where the sitting CM, Siddaramaiah, lost by a huge margin. So to come back and say that he's a popular leader out there and he will scamper to victory, not at all. Even now, this time, it will be very difficult for him to face Mr. Somana there because there are a sizable number of Lingayat votes also in Varuna constituency, and therefore Siddaramaiah now will be confined to campaigning in his constituency. Therefore, it's a thing of the past that he is a leader who's probably having pan-state presence. No, he was scouting for a seat. Party advised him not to contest in Kolar also because they got feedback on the ground that he will lose there also very badly. So therefore, Siddaramaiah will not be a factor at all because he's always tried to play divisive politics. He's trying to be, he has played the anti-Hindu card. He's been anti-Hindu and his policies have always been anti-Hindu. And Shivkumar, yes, in his own right, he has his bastion in Kanakpura, which this time I'm sure will be breaking it. Which is why one of our tall Okaliga leaders, he is contesting against him there.
Okay.
So therefore, yes, they might have been leaders of their community in a limited sense, but it's not that the entire community rallies behind Congress leaders. They as much, the community people, Okaliga community, as much rallies behind BJP to the extent they go with Congress also.
Okay.
JDS, as you rightly said, family party, they have the community votes only. So therefore, one thing I also want to repeat on the show is any vote which goes to the JDS is a vote being given to the Congress because ultimately they will snatch the mandate and try to form the government if at all.
Okay, Nagaraji Yadav, quick response, and then I'll give Smita.
The government of our own, we will come back to power with absolute majority.
The BJP is having a daydream which will not become true. Definitely, the BJP played a foul game in Chamundeshwari when Siddaramaiah contested in 2018.
You lose and it's a foul game. And wherever you win, it's a fair game, is it?
And I'm telling you very, very clearly, this time Somana was shifted from Govindarajanagar to Chamarajanagar and Varuna, and I'll definitely that Siddaramaiah will win with a landslide victory of minimum 1 lakh votes. This is a challenge to Mr. Prashant. This is one thing. The second thing, the Ramanagar and the entire Bengaluru Rural is completely towards the Congress side today, and also made the doors of a chief minister's chair has been completely closed by saying that they will be projecting a Lingayat candidate. This means the Okaliga leaders have got no chance of getting chief minister in BJP, but Congress has kept all the open for all communities only after the election.
So I'll give Smita. Okay. One second, gentlemen, I'm pulling back. Smita, you know, one thing, while the focus so much of it, at least in the run-up to these elections, the ticket distribution has all been around the Lingayats. The fact is that in terms of volume of seats, while the Lingayats are spread and influential across the state, the concentration of Okaliga-dominated seats in this region, 60 of them, makes it almost quintessential that any party that hopes to come to power on its own strength has to do exceptionally well in this region. How may the infighting within the Gowda family, will it help or hurt? And which of the two parties will it help or hurt? With the BJP or the Congress in this region?
So tremors in the JDS is going to affect these elections much more than they did in the earlier elections. In the earlier election, the patriarch of the family managed to somehow get the two brothers and their wives and children and everybody on the same page with the big intention of winning the election, which was crucial for them. But here now you are talking 5 years later, the patriarch is old and he is not able to hold together the aspirations of the various members of the party. So there are tremors and that's going to impact. As far as the Vocaliga versus Lingayat is concerned, the BJP has given more tickets this time to the Lingayats than they did in the earlier one. That doesn't mean that the Vocaligas are not going to be imperative to win in this region. As far as the Congress person is concerned, he goes on talking about the Vocaligas and all, and the BJP is saying that Siddaramaiah doesn't have that kind of an effect. But the fact is that when ticket distribution came about, the Ahinda formula, and the Ahinda formula is Siddaramaiah's formula. That is what came into play. So it is not just Vocaligas and Lingayats, but there is also the backward castes and all these people and all the other communities which have got together, and there is going to be splintering this time. If there is going to be splintering to a large extent, then we will see some kind of a khichdi being cooked all over again, and post-election results, formulations and combinations happening.
All right, I'm going to leave it at that. I always believe that whenever the JDS ends up with less than 30 seats, then you can be rest assured that either of these two national parties will end up with a significant edge. So as much as focus there is on the BJP and on the Congress, and I believe it's principally the fight between these two national parties, but watch out for where the JDS tally is. This infighting within the Gowda family, if it's going to hurt the JDS, and if they end up with less than 25 seats or less than 30 seats, then that means advantage to either one of these two national parties. We'll keep an eye out on how that story plays out. As we wrap up, this is a fascinating moment for any cricket fan, any Sachin Tendulkar fan, the god of cricket, a role model to millions around the globe. He turned 50 today. Speaking to Cricket Next, Srinivas Rao, Sachin Tendulkar opened up about his children, his final test match, and of course, this milestone of turning 50. Thanks very much for tuning in.
We friends, we felt like having chalo yaar chai peete hai, and uske sath those naan katai biscuits. Said we'll have that. Brilliant spot to have. Nobody is expecting here, and so we parked a car and we started having chai and all that. I went there. I asked for my chai and all that. It was good fun. So we were just driving, and once we had recorded that, the last bit was camera on Arjun. Arjun is not fond of cameras, and so is Anjali. Sarah is okay, but Arjun is like, okay, leave me out of this, and that was his expression. I still remember post-match presentation. I was down there along with my teammates, and thinking that this is the last time I'm standing with the team. It's never going to happen again in my life. I'm never going to walk on the field as an active Indian cricketer. And I was in the dressing room. I said, if we have a press conference on the 6th morning, so 5-day test match, then we finish this function, and we had organized a press conference on 6th morning. So I said, 6th day, by then, 2 days would have passed. Right now, people would want to know my views and all that. So I made a request there. I said, is it possible that I speak for some time rather than answering 2-3 questions? And I said, the field is yours. You can go and speak for as long as you want. I still don't feel like I'm 50, honestly speaking. I'd much rather put it differently. 25-year-old with 25 years of experience sounds better. It's been a wonderful journey. I have no complaints, no regrets. 24 years that I got a chance to play for a country has been a huge, huge honor and a dream come true. That is all I wanted in life. I did not want to be anything else. From the age of 10, I started chasing my dream, and to be able to do that for 24 years, couldn't have asked for more.